Hey ladies, we are back with another segment of Strut-to-Strut Wife Chats, and I'm super excited to be here with Katie. I always mess up her last name, so when she introduces herself and gives us a little bit of information, I'm gonna tell her to say her name because it's only right to get the man's name right that made you a Mrs. So, welcome today, and thank you so much for spending some time with me to chat it up about our struts, if you will. And please say your last name.
Granillo.
So, Mrs.
Granillo.
There we go. All right. Well, welcome today. So, give me a little background on how you met, who you're married to, how long y'all been married. We want the goods.
Okay. So we've been married for 3 years, and actually our anniversary was just a few days ago.
Whoop! Congrats to getting to big 3. That's a big deal. Every year is a big deal, actually. But yes.
I count every year. I'm like, it's
That's
our
right.
10-year anniversary.
How long have I known you?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so just celebrated 3 years.
Mm-hmm. We actually met in high school.
That shit doesn't happen anymore.
Sophomore year in high school. But we didn't date. He was actually my bully. And I had a big crush on him. Yeah, right. He was my bully.
How'd you convert that?
When we met years later.
Okay. You know, back in the day, if a guy liked a girl, he hit her. So
Yeah.
maybe it was the same concept.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I unfortunately ended up getting adopted, so I moved to Dallas. And
Okay.
I lived there. I finished out my high school year, and then I came back to El Paso once I was 18. And I met him again freshman year in college, and this time I was like, you're not going nowhere. Give me your phone. I am giving you my number.
Look at that. Way to be aggressive. Get what you want, okay? And clearly you wanted him. So
Yeah.
good for you. And then that's all she wrote. Y'all were just together since then?
Since then, yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Super exciting.
I love finding out how people meet because it says a lot about your relationship.
You know what's
Right?
crazy? In high school, we had a math teacher. We had math class together.
Mm-hmm.
And that math teacher told us, you guys are going to get married.
Isn't it weird how folks call it?
Yeah.
You're
Very.
like, who are you?
I mean,
Stop
at that age, I was like, that's gross.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
Did y'all invite him to the wedding?
We tried looking for him. We couldn't find him.
Oh. Well, at least y'all tried, because
Yeah.
that's the freaky stuff. When you're like, remember when that dude called that out and this really happened? Was he psychic?
Right?
So funny. Well, that's interesting. I love that. Because you think, like, you hear stories, there are not many people who can actually survive, like, from high school through, right? Even though y'all met again. Do you think it's because you had knowledge of who he was before? P.S. not being your bully. But, or are you just like, that was kind of like, oh, he got away and now he's back? Or how does that work?
Honestly, I had a crush on him since I first saw him.
Oh, so even as a bully, you were crushing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was terrible. It was a bad crush.
It was terrible.
So mean to me, but I was still there. And so when I saw him again, I was like, no, you're not leaving this time.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I always wondered, like, my husband's parents, they've been together since high school. And I'm like, listen, Linda. When I was in high school, I thought the person I was dating, I was going to be with them, forever because I don't know why. He was cool at the time, right? But the person I was then wasn't the person that we were when it ended or today. So do you think that, like, kind of the key to that is, like, people grow apart or they grow together?
I think they grew together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would hope so, because if
Yeah.
not, then you're like, the high school person I fell in love with is so not who you are. And of course, you're not going to be the same person, but I think if you're on the same pace, right? Because sometimes people, I don't know, I think that, like, they grow and then they go in different directions.
Or we make them grow.
Or say that again.
Yeah.
We assist them in a nice push to grow, right? Get on my page, please. Thank
Right.
you. But that's the important part too, right? Because if you're pulling them along and then they're compliant, then it can work.
Yep.
It's when the other person is like screeching halt or like, no, I'm going to go this way and go that way. I dig it. Word. So, y'all met, been together, just hit 3 years. Recap. Recently, he switched careers. How does that work?
I think I'm still in the process, especially emotionally. It's been hard. And I think what's harder about it is that I really don't have that communication with him because he can't be on his phone at all. hardly ever at the day, and so it's only at the end of the day that I get to talk to him, and I'm already ready for going to sleep because I have to wake up early.
Right.
So it's like 5 minutes that I get to talk to him throughout the whole day.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
That is terrible. It's tough, right?
Yeah, it's very tough.
And I think a lot of people, I mean, the life we're living now, you have military, you have nurses, you have relocation, you have, you know, and I can't even imagine when I was working my last job, I was traveling at least 3 to 4 days a week, right?
Oh, wow.
So like, I understand, but I don't, I mean, I'm not saying I am in your shoes, definitely like 2 weeks at a time, is that what you're at? Yeah, so 2 weeks at a time, and it's like, that can wear on you. It's frustrating. But then you want to be supportive, right?
Exactly.
So this whole, wives, we know, like the support game has to be on lock, right? Because 9 times out of 10, the goal, like MJ always says, I'm doing this for you. No, you're doing this for you. you're living your dream for you, right? Because this is not anything new. It might be new to you. I have told him, you want to do, you know, your camp full time. I'm here for that. I support you. That's what you went to school for, you know? But at the same time, I'm like, but I mean, for me, what you mean is providing. I mean, you can provide for me as a teacher for the rest of your life, but you won't be happy, right?
Yeah.
So like trying to be supportive and put your own, I'm not going to say needs, but feelings sometimes to the side gets tough. How do you work through it? Or how have you been working through? Because you're in it.
Yeah. Workout has definitely been helping me out.
Okay.
So that's how I relieve all my stress and everything I need to relieve. So just keeping busy, really.
Yeah.
Keeping busy, doing overtime at work.
Yeah.
Doing stuff around the house and trying not to just upgrade our house and do little knickknacks here and there. So.
Okay.
Just keep busy.
Keep busy. And then when you see each other.
Yeah. You do nothing but sex.
Yes! Catch up. Literally, right? And that's got to be kind of cool, right? I mean, I'm sure the sex is great, but I mean, like it's kind of like new pursuit, right? Yeah. You're giddy again. You're like counting down the days, and then you get home and you're like, get over hither.
Yep.
Right?
Exactly.
This lady was like, we should go on a double date. I was like, yeah, girl, tell me when he gets in town. I see posts. He was in town. He's gone. I'm not mad at it though, because listen, you need your time.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, Haiti, I don't know if you've gotten to see her video, but she also has a husband in the oil fields, and she was kind of talking about her experience. So I think one of the coolest things, which is why we do these strut-to-struts, is because sometimes we think that no one else gets it because sometimes our inner circle doesn't get it. But there are so many folks that are like wife in the same similar paths, right? And I think it's really cool to be like, okay, someone that's my tribe right there. You know, like she's feeling some of the things that I'm going through. So that's real cool. Okay, so tell me what you're like, here we go. What is y'all's favorite memory, or your favorite memory of y'all? And this could be anything. I'm here for it.
Okay, can I give you 2 memories?
How about it?
Okay, so I'll give you a funny one. Well, they'll both be funny, but one's kind of inappropriate. So my nickname for his family is Encuerada, and what that translates to is naked girl.
Okay.
So honestly, when we first started dating, we waited no time at all to start having sex.
You're like, you bullied me, I'm here for it, I'm bullying you, do what I want.
Yep. So I ended up staying the night at his house, and of course he has sisters and he's living with his parents. So his mom comes knocking on the door the next day, and she's like, hey, I need the keys, you had them last, you were on a date last night, I just need the keys to take the kids to school. So he goes out and he doesn't close the door. I'm like completely naked in his bed, right?
Okay.
So I'm face down against the wall, and I
face down.
Well, like face like on my tummy.
Okay,
so
I got it.
Like I'm laying down, and next thing you know, I hear the door creak open. So I'm like, oh, okay, so it's him. I'm like, oh, good morning. And it was his grandma.
No.
It was his grandma who came inside.
Granny, I'm sorry.
Oh, goodness. And I was like, good morning. As nice as I could. And she was just like, oh, buenos dias. And I looked down the hall, and there he is. And he's like, shh, shh, shh. I'm like, you don't talk to your grandma like that. He's shushing her to come over here and get out of his room. Oh, my God. It was terrible. So after that, they call me Naked Girl now.
Well, nicknames. That's awesome. To be known always as the Naked Girl. I don't know where you go with that, but okay. Right? That's memory number 1.
Yes.
And story number 2.
Yes. So, story number 2, we decided to go hiking.
Outdoors.
Yes. It's a funny story.
Okay.
So, over there in El Paso, they have like this huge mountain. Apparently, it looks like an elephant. I think that's what it is, an elephant. Okay. So we went up to go look at it, right? And of course, I'm gonna trust him. He's done it before, or whatever it was. He's the man. Let him go, right?
Right.
Girl, we went over the wrong fucking mountain.
What do you mean? Were you walking or driving?
Yeah, no, walking.
Okay.
Hiking. Oh my god, our legs were killing us. As we were coming down, literally a tarantula was like coming after me. I was like freaking.
You're ready
out.
for a tarantula?
Yes. Oh my god.
I don't do the spiders either, but okay. And then?
No, so thankfully we made it, but our legs were freaking killing us. Killing us. And that night we had to go to a Halloween party, and we literally looked like we were like Frankenstein or something walking around.
Was that your...
No! We were in so
What was your outfit?
Oh, I don't even remember. I think I was a mummy, actually.
Well, that kind of goes.
Yes.
Right?
I don't remember what he was, like a Joker or something. Oh, it's terrible.
That's too funny.
Yeah, never trust him again.
Y'all are big dresser-uppers, right?
Sometimes, yeah.
Like Christmas, y'all like matching.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yeah,
matching,
and then
yes.
that's your thing. Listen, y'all, I can't get my husband to match me to save his life. Like, sometimes we so happen to have on the same color, and he's like, did you do that? Like, in the beginning, he would change.
Really?
Like, excuse me. I didn't know that, like, I'm insulting your look or cramping your style. I don't know what his deal was, but I think it's real cute.
Thank you.
Because it's, like, itemizing. That's mine.
Yeah.
Over there. Thank you.
At first it happened as a coincidence, and then I was like, okay, we're going to keep this going. And I remember one time I didn't have matching outfits because I didn't wash clothes, so I was like, whatever's left is what we're going to wear. And he was so upset with me. He's like, why aren't we matching?
You're like, I'm sorry.
Right?
Excuse me. I'll work on that. Jesus. That's too cute. Mm-hmm. Says something about y'all's gentleness.
Right?
You know, MJ needs to get on that because he's got to do better. I be telling him, he's like, fine. I said, did you hear Katie say they have matching shoes? Did you hear that? Fine, just shoes.
Yeah, he tells me. He knows.
Yeah, he needs to do better. He just tries. You know how like they want to hold out on these few things for who knows what reason. I don't know if it just makes him feel good in his soul that like, not this thing. I'm not gonna give in. Listen, you gave your name. That's enough.
Yeah.
Like, you've already done. So just go with it. How do you keep the spark? I know that it's easy because there's distance, right? But before the distance, how do you keep it fresh? I mean, because you're the naked girl. So, like...
the expectation's high.
Yeah, you set the bar from the beginning.
Well, when he was here, I think for a while we were struggling because we were kind of complacent and all we would do is just work, come home, work, come home.
Routine, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So this year I told him we were going to do things differently, and every weekend we were going to go do something. Whether it was like something far away, we're going to go dancing that night, go drinking, and that's kind of been working for us. That's been a blast, just going to a bar, getting a drink, or we've learned how to do a few cowboy dances.
Oh, like, good!
Cowboy dance hall has like little practice before they open, so yeah, we've been doing that and changes things up.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yes. I think it's really important to keep stuff fresh.
Yes.
I feel. Sometimes. more than not. But I have in my head, like, girl, you need to do better. Like, girl, don't be just, I mean, I love my couch. Listen, I love my couch. But, gotta get your ass up off the couch sometimes.
Yeah. Right?
I always say, and I tell him, when you were dating me, he goes, when you was dating me, you went along with stuff. And now I'm like, I don't do that. Give me another option. But he also gave me multiple choice at the time. Now he just be like, I got this one thing, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. There's no backup. I guess I should just try to go with it.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen that night.
Or not. I mean, hey, I'm here for it, but sometimes I'm so not here for it. So, that's great. Okay, so I'm on this big kick about like how people frame marriage and like if they had to describe it, like what are the words that they use? Because you know when you first get married, people are like, is it great? Like how's marriage? Is it everything? You're like, that is the dumbest question. But now I have an answer. So if you had to sum up marriage in a few words, what are the words that you use or how do you describe marriage to others?
Well, for me, I married my best friend. So it's just like hanging out with your best friend every day, and we laugh and we just have a good time and we make the most of every moment. It hasn't always been like that, of course. There was always compromise and communication. Communication is key in a marriage, and that's something that we've grown on as we've gone along.
So people always say, by the way, I like those answers. There are no wrong answers. It's just different for everybody, right? But people always say communication. Like if you talk to the oldest people that've been married forever, like you gotta communicate. But like, that's so broad, right? So like when you think communication, like, you know, they have the things of like, don't go to bed mad, talk about your issues, blah, blah. Listen, I try not to go to bed mad. So what I'd be like, we pausing on this, pause.
Right.
You mad? I'm not mad. Kiss me goodnight, right? But like, it still has to be dealt with. So when you say like communication or the things that you've worked through with communication, like no specifics per se, but like, what does that mean for you?
I think from before, the way we would handle our arguments a lot, we just wouldn't communicate. And so
just silent treatment.
Right.
Okay.
Now we've grown to where we're able to talk it out or not even get into that argument, you know, we just talk to each other and we now see each other's perspective of what we saw in that situation. And now we're like, okay, no, that's not what I was trying to do. This is it.
Right.
Okay, let's move on.
Right.
So I think that for us mainly it was probably our arguments.
Okay.
But I kind of tell him a little bit too much. I mean, he needs to know about my periods and all of that.
Hey,
so
you signed up for this. Yes, you do. Hello, welcome.
So he knows everything.
Okay, so just openness and the ability to talk, right? I think that's key too. Because I think a lot of times we think, oh, I don't want to say that. Or like, there's some things that are off limits. And it's like, maybe for some people, you know, but like, I dig that. Like, especially with, I think when you said, you know, maybe we didn't talk about stuff or arguments are not even arguments anymore. I think that's really key, right? Sometimes I'm still here for an argument. I try not to be, but I'm like, this what we doing today? Because I can do this all day. This what we doing, you know? But that time and energy goes to what, right? And I think like you're saying like, well, it doesn't even have to be an argument. I'm trying to understand your perspective, right? And I think that if we remember that we're on the same team, note to me, talk to myself, remember that we're on the same team, Shay. Like, and I know that we're on the same team, but sometimes you're like, this is the hill I'm gonna die on today. Like, I'm digging my hills today, and it's like, is it worth the dig though? Like, why are we gotta dig in today? You know, because I think that sometimes you're like, I can't believe he said that, or you know, and it's like, that's a hurt place, but I think in our head, it's like, he said that because he knew, and that gets out of the, we're on the same team. Because like, who would intentionally, like, just, I mean, we have dig moments. Do we not?
Yep.
Yeah, right? But then you're like, outside self, get some, I call it wife perspective. When you can step back from the situation and get some perspective of that situation, you know, like, really? And for him, he's like, if I knew it was going to be all this, I would just shut the hell up, you know? Like, who could have told me it was going to turn into all of this, you know? I dig that. Communication is key. I tell myself every day. P.S. I had the nerve to go get a degree in it.
Nice.
Is it? What do they say? Those who don't do teach, right? Those who don't practice, study, and research, you don't write about it. I can give you the breakdown of all situations, and I'm in it. I'm like, not today, not right now. Communication, what? No. You know? Well, just let me live in my truth. I just got to be honest about that. So some of the things you said, your communication has changed. Like, what do you know today that you think contributes to your wifeness or your marriage that you didn't know in the beginning that's helped you?
Something I knew now that I wish I knew before?
Yeah.
It's quite a bit. I mean,
you're like, there's a list. I'm here for it.
I wish I loved myself more before, because I think that would have solved a lot of insecurity issues and kind of stopping me from getting close to him. I mean, I wish I would have been a little bit more open-minded. I tend to overthink everything, and I come up with scenarios in my head that are just way beyond out of here. Like, what the fuck were you thinking?
Where did that come from?
Exactly. I'm like, he's at home with somebody, you know, just any little thing, and it's because he didn't text me in like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So I wish I wasn't as crazy. That's all it is. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we would have been a lot happier.
And now, clearly you've balanced that because you get 5 minutes a day. You know, you try to make the most of those 5 minutes. But like, if your crazy was at its height, you know,
I would not be sitting here.
Isn't that awesome though when you see yourself grow?
Yeah.
That's cool. You went deep on that answer. I'm here for it. I didn't know we were gonna go there, but I think so many people can relate to that. Like,
I think a lot of people look at us and they say, oh, wow, you know, they've been happy their whole life. But honestly, no. I mean, we've gone through the struggle. We went through everything. And not every marriage is perfect at first, you know, or even at the beginning of the relationship. You have to learn each other. You have to get used to each other. And it takes all of that to, and like you said, it's like a team. If both of you have the end goal that you want to be together and you love each other, you're going to make it.
Yeah.
You're going to make it.
That is so true. Dude, I ain't got no words. I appreciate the drop the knowledge, you know, and I think sometimes we just need to hear it from the other person. Like, yes, it is gonna be hard. People are always like, I say all the time, never went into marriage thinking there's gonna be daisies and lollipops. But could a girl get a daisy sometimes? Lollipops today, anybody having a lot? You know, but at the end of the day, I'm like, well, I'll take no daisies with you, I guess. You know, that's awesome. So, is there anything I didn't ask you just want to spill on? You're like
you have to be more specific. I mean, I got the stories. You gotta just ask. I don't know. I can't come up on the top of my head.
It's true. Let me think something that I've asked someone else. So we already talked about things being challenging and like working through it. I guess I really don't have too many questions. I kind of just let it go because my goal with all of the chats and even the website and stuff is just like knowing that like you can live your real moment out loud, right? And that other people's stories are very similar. Like yours is unique, but like we are still united. And I think so many people spend so much time waiting until they go through a rough patch, and then when they're on the other side, they're like, well, I can tell you. And I'm not saying to put your whole life out there. I'm not even amidst all this. I feel like there's things I need to keep, you know, sacred. But I think that if we could ever talk about the good times when they're good and the struggle in the struggle, that's what helps us. Not like, well, you know, you talk to some people, they've been married 50 years and they're like, that ain't nothing. And you're like, it's something today to me. You know, like, let's talk about it.
Like I said, we just had our anniversary and I was telling him I want to start a tradition. Like just, I love traditions and I just want to do something traditional. So I told him, let's write something that we're thankful for, that we love for, and that we're happy with in each other at this moment.
That's good.
Right? Because I told him, I was like, if we think about it 10 years ago when we were 18, my mindset would have been like, oh, thank you for the flowers, thank you for this, like materialistic things.
Yeah.
Now, I'm so thankful to just have time with you, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, can you imagine what we're going to be thinking 50 years from now?
Yeah.
Like, what is it that we're going to be thinking?
That gives me goosebumps. Oh my gosh. No, like really. I hate when I get good chills. I mean, it's good chills, but like my body doesn't know what to do with it.
Right? So I'm excited. I think I'm like going to hang them as years go by.
Yeah.
So
that's such an awesome tradition.
At dinner, we'll trade them out.
Yes. MJ and I have gotten into much conversation, and it probably comes mostly during the holidays, and holidays are a doozy, right? Because there's this whole concept of like creating traditions, which really require creation, not adoption. You know, and it's so hard when you blend two different families from two different backgrounds who did things a certain way or didn't do them, and now you're trying to introduce things like, well, we've always done this. Well, I don't do this, or you know, and it's this weird, I don't know what you call it, like this in between, this like the transition of like from what I was doing to okay, maybe we will or we won't, but to new creation, you know? And I always think that's a hard juggle, because what it really is change of identity. But hello, when you say I do, literally there has to be a change of identity.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, I think that's cool. You create a tradition. We struggle with traditions. But I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm not stealing it.
Oh,
but it's
go
a good
for
one.
it. Go for it.
Right? We had, when we got married, we wanted to do something, you know, people do the sand or whatever. We were doing a city southern theme. So we did hands. And then we put our hands together so the paints would merge. Aww. Well, it's a real cute concept, and I was going to hang it on the wall, but the girl who made it, bless her heart, she did the best she could, but it was too thin to bake through, so we don't have it.
No.
That's okay. It's on video, so it happened, right? But another thing we did was a wine bottle. MJ does not drink wine yet. I try to slip it in when I can, but we got engraving that says the year and our name, you know, when we're established, but you can buy wine that ages for so many years. So it's a 5-year bottle, and it's supposed to be at its prime in 5 years. So we put our vows in there, and you're supposed to write a note to each other about why you fell in love with each other. And so you put that in the box. If your marriage falls apart hard times and you're ready to call it quits, you're supposed to take your letters and your vows, read them, drink the bottle of wine together, and get to that 5-year mark. If you make it to the 5 years, then at your anniversary, you're supposed to drink it, read your letters, write a new letter, and then do a new bottle for 10 years. So it's the only tradition that is like a thing that we're waiting for. Like this coming up year is 5 years. Oh my gosh. Well, 2019. So like, I'm like, we're going to crack that bottle open. It might be the most disgusting wine, but we're drinking that wine, honey. It's going to be the best wine we've ever had. Yeah. It's like, you know, if I could get Jesus' wine, that's probably really the best. But we're going to drink that like that was Jesus' wine. Thank you, Jesus. 5 years counting. Yeah. Right? So that's it. So workouts. Y'all work out together. Mm-hmm. Tell me, what's that like?
It's nice. I love working out with him, and I love that we're both changing our lives to a healthier lifestyle. Mm-hmm. 'Cause before, all we would do is just sit on the couch and watch Netflix.
And chill. Yeah.
Of course. So it was nice to switch it up and now go to workouts. And I think what we value most is the people that we work out with and the friends that we met. You know, we just moved here too. So it's kind of like it's helped us, and now we're establishing ourselves here.
Okay.
So I love it. I hate that he loses weight faster than me.
You know, of course. All of the men that lose weight faster than us, I've got a problem with you, just so you know.
Yes.
Yes.
It's so it's stressful.
Yes.
Like, I feel like I have to starve myself to just look like him.
Right. Yeah.
Terrible.
Don't judge. Love yourself more, like you said.
Right.
Right. Because he's like, hey, it ain't stopping the chilling.
Yeah.
Right? He's here for that. No, that's cool. MJ always posts all these things, and you know, there's all these statistics about people that work out together, and we don't work out together. And he has an issue with that.
I told him, like, the way you yell at us, I wouldn't want to work out with you either.
Right. Listen, I am a firm believer that, and I get it, because if you have your dream in life, not dream, but like goals in life is to have friends or a circle of people that have expertise, because then you have access, right? So you live with the trainer, you're like, what do you mean you're going to work out and you don't do it with your husband? Your husband can be your best friend, your great whatever, your confidant. Y'all are, your lives are already so intertwined. To have them also kind of be your boss and tell you what to do and still like them at home.
Right.
It's kind of hard.
Yeah.
You know, I think the hardest thing for me when it first started, and I should do a video on that because you were talking about vulnerability, right? And like loving yourself.
Yeah.
Back in the day when I didn't have a huge issue because I just didn't know yet how crazy he was, I didn't want to work out with him because I felt like when you go to a trainer, you have to point out all of your flaws that you want to fix. And I felt like if I pointed them out, then he would start seeing them and he would also begin to dislike those flaws. And that's probably a whole crazy mindset.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But like, that was real for me.
Yeah.
And the crazy part is like all those things that I disliked, he probably saw them anyway. But like,
he loved it.
Or at least didn't have an issue with it.
Yeah.
But there's this story my friend told me about this lady who was dating this guy and saying, you know, I'm so fat, I need to lose weight, this and that, this and that. And they were in a relationship for a long time. He said, I love you how you are, this and that. They weren't married. And then after a while, they broke up, and she's like, what happened? He goes, well, you convinced me that you were so fat.
Oh, wow.
You know, so like, I didn't want to be on the receiving end of like, but if I couldn't own it, like I didn't want to fake it, like, yeah, you like all this. No, because I don't even like all this. You know, so like definitely fixing ourselves without like putting all that on our spouse, which we do anyway, you know. But if y'all can work out together, listen, that's a great thing.
I'm sure if you ask a few of the campers, they've seen us go at it, which is kind of funny. I'm like, don't say
not
anything.
Today.
We're married. It's okay.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
get through this.
Yes. This workout right now is a reflection, you know. When I was going to his workout, right, and there were days, and we're running and high-fiving, my hand is down when I run past you. Don't say nothing to me today. You know, like, and people didn't know I was his wife, because I didn't want them to know, because I felt like there was this pressure of like, first of all, how you the trainer with the chubby wife? Then to me, I felt like it meant that like, he wasn't, I don't know, like enforcing what he was telling them. Like, I felt like I made him look bad, especially when we went to like the next event and all the trainers are there, and I'm like, you got the chubby wife, like, and he's like, really, Shay? And I'm like, really? You know, like, I felt like it makes you look conflicted, you know? And then I was like, don't tell people, because I'm also a complainer. I complain and I slack, and I'm okay with that, you know? And he's like, you're like the worst person to train. I would never train you. I'm like, you would if I was paying you, because I'm paying you. He's like, no, I would leave you. No, you wouldn't. You know, whatever. So I just felt like, dang, well, if I tell people that I'm his wife and I'm slacking, then I once again make him look bad. So I was like, you better not tell people. And then as they started to find out, they're like, we didn't know. You don't know. Next, you know. But I think that's cool. So, you don't have kids.
No.
Is that something that y'all discussed, agreed, not agreed?
He kind of made that decision at first. So we're Mexican, right? And
No.
Yeah. And let me tell you, they've been asking for kids since we freaking got together.
Yeah, since you were the naked girl.
Yeah,
Exactly. Naked, where's the baby?
And I think they were expecting to happen because they saw me like that. They're like, oh, this girl.
Yeah.
But every Christmas, every year, we get it. When are you gonna have kids? When are you gonna have kids? And now I kind of feel like they're like, what's wrong with you all? Is there something wrong?
Yeah.
But I'm kind of glad we didn't have kids, because we got the time to really enjoy each other.
Yeah.
And spend that time with each other.
Yeah.
So, but he was the one that was like, no kids. I kind of wanted kids at first, and then I was like, no. And then I was like, yes. So I couldn't make up my mind. Of course, a woman's typical mind where we're like,
Maybe today I saw a cute one.
yeah.
Yeah.
But now we're actually trying. Unfortunately, it's been a year that we've been trying. I think now we're going to have to get tested, see what's going on. But yeah, we're trying.
Okay.
Kids are
In the
plan.
future
Yeah.
somewhere. That's what's up. I didn't even get all in your business. But I think that's like you said,
Yeah.
since they met you, like I'm telling you, we didn't say I do 5 minutes. Bless my mother-in-law's heart. She was on the mic like, this is great. Here's to y'all and my future granddaughters. And I was like, get off the mic, you know. Bless her heart. She has always wanted grandkids, you know. I'm like, in due time, you know, when it happens or whatever. And it's just not been on the list. And I had said when I met him, like before I ever met him, I'm like, I'm going to be married for at least 3 years before we ever have kids, because I just felt like we needed that foundation. And I felt like it's a crazy joke for two people, the opposite sex, from different worlds in general, to merge and just things work, you know. And I came from a divorced family, and I'm like, it's in the foundation somewhere, like I'm trying to change that, you know. But I'm like, there is a true transition that happens from like single woman, independent, to like, let you be involved wife. You know what I mean? And I think that transition for men too, like there's a lot of pressure for their role depending on like how traditional or non-traditional you are. And I just felt like what I learned, and you tell me if you've experienced that, because maybe it's cultural also, right? But I think that like men and their moms, that's something you'll never, it's a sacred bond, and I get that, right? But they have to, not just the man, but like the family, there's this whole identity they built for you and who they've raised you to be, right? And now they've got to kind of relearn you. Like, now you're not just so-and-so a man. You're so-and-so a man, this woman's husband, my son fill in the rest of the blanks, right?
Yeah.
And that movement and commotion is kind of like, it could be devastating. And it's like, now I'm trying to juggle, like, well, this is what you've always done. Yeah, well, this role actually jumped all the other roles. And now get in line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like that transition time. People think like, well, it's the marriage. No, no, no. Like those forces. Am I crazy? Like
I'm actually lucky. My husband's really not close to his mom or any of his family, so
okay. So it's a
really
different,
just us. Yeah.
just y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my family's not here.
Yeah.
So my husband, like what they've done, and they got a lot of women. So in his world, this is just life. Like that's just what women do. Y'all are crazy. Like y'all have to dance, you know. And you know he does have uncles, but I mean like it's a very different uncle because they're the husband. I mean, it's been his uncle his whole life, so I'm not dismissing them. I'm just saying that the sister didn't have a specific brother that they can see like, oh, he had to do that. Okay, this is kind of how that goes. You know what I mean? So it's always been like this thing. I feel. And so like I'm like, you want to throw babies into that? Not yet. Like everybody's got to be on.
Yeah.
Now there's a calm. Now let's consider. I'm not saying we're considering. Just clear that out. But yeah, I think it's this thing. I had this video I did about how we're looked at as like, as soon as you say I do, when are you going to become a family? And I'm like, well, are we not a family? We got me and him.
Yeah.
We also have dogs.
And dogs, yeah.
Yeah, they count. But even if we didn't have dogs, I'm like, how does a baby specifically solidify family now? You know, like we adopt other folks in like nothing. Oh, that's my sister. Y'all ain't got no blood relation, you know?
Yeah.
But then when it comes to marriage, oh no, until there's a baby, when you gonna start a family? And I'm like, if we decide to never have kids or couldn't have kids or whatever, what do we become? Are we no longer family? Are we just like a married couple? Like when does the title has never changed?
Yeah.
You know?
That's the scary part for us because I feel like they're counting on us to have kids. Like his grandma will even call us. She'll be like, "I'm gonna die before you guys have kids." And
gosh, the pressure!
Why did you put that on me? But I'm like, what if I really can't have kids or something's wrong? You know, like how do you go to them and tell them that when their expectation is that you're gonna have kids?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. But you're a family. It's a family. There's love in this home, and it's a family.
That's right. Thank you. We're family. That's all. Done with that. I've enjoyed our time. I don't want to cut it short, but I don't want to bring this to turn in. And you're welcome anytime. I thank you so much for sitting down and chat with us because strutting is important. Every wife strut is different, and we need to strut together as a community so that we can keep this marriage thing going. I said so good. It's been so real. I hope that you guys have found something in here that you can relate to. Comment, like us, and subscribe because this strut ain't going nowhere. We might strutting it out, so you might as well join the movement. Until next time.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. See y'all.
Bye.